God can perform anything. And I said, with him, nothing is impossible. I remember one little thing Pop used to say, but learn not to slam the screen door because the strips will fly off. And so he said, if you do that and I catch you, you have to come back and close it 5 times very quietly. And that's what he did. And they lived up to it. They did all right. They remembered. Well, I still think that it started there at Episcopal Hospital when I was a nurse. And the little colored lady, she told me that she had something to tell me. And I said, what's that? And she says, I like you very much. I said, well, I like you too. And with that, she said God had given her a gift of to foretell the future. So I said, well, what do you see? And she says, you're going to marry the fellow that you're going with. And she says, and you're going to get married, and when you do, you're going to have one son, and then you're going to, I see a lot of children. And from there on, there'll be more children. Pop and I got married after I had finished my graduation of 2.5 years at Episcopal Ear, Eye, Nose, and Throat Hospital in Washington, D.C. And we went to the mission field. And we stayed there 2.5 years, and I was house mother for 28 little boys, and he was house father. And it wasn't until about 2.5 years that he decided he wanted to study for the ministry. Then he was ordained, and from there on he was priested, and he decided we'd go to West Virginia. I don't know why he decided. I didn't ask him why he decided. I just thought, well, why not? We seemed to be rejected in so many ways. We were 2.5, 3 years in a place, and my husband believed in beating the bushes and getting the kids. He said, if you're going to have a church, you got to have kids if it's going to grow. And that's what he did. Well, some of the people didn't like that idea. So Pop says, well, if you don't like that idea, you don't like me. So we left. And we went to another church, and the same thing happened. So he was getting very discouraged. So we decided we'd come to West Virginia and go up on the mountain and see if we couldn't start some children's work. So that's what we did. We went to St. Andrews up on the mountain. And with the bishop's consent, we went ahead and took in children. And finally, the bishop decided he would give us somebody to work with us. So he got a hold of this lady, but he forgot to go through some committee, and they didn't approve of that, so they cut that off. And Pop says, well, what are we going to do now? And he says, well, just send the kids back where they came from. He said, no, I promised these kids a chance, and I'm going to do it. So we had $1,000 and a lovely shoestring that seemed to stretch from here to eternity. And we bought a place, and every Saturday we go down and clean it up. It used to be a Jewish camp. I never saw so many cans in all my born days, but we picked up cans and cleaned up the place. And we started from there on with 11 children, and finally we got court cases. We got welfare cases, and we got a couple of boys. Somebody at Boston said, that'll never work. That'll never work. And I said, well, you don't know. God can perform anything. And I said, with him, nothing is impossible.